All right, everyone, welcome back to part 2 of a 2-part episode. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
The Idaho Business Podcast is sponsored by Sensations. These guys are located in Pocatello, Idaho, or Twin Falls, Idaho, and they are a must-see for your tanning, your day spa, or your salon needs. And speaking from personal experience, they gave me a spray tan right before I went to Mexico, made me look a lot better. I'm not any model by any means, but they made me look a lot better. So if you're listeners to the podcast and you want to get your body in a better state, mentally, physically, these guys are there for you. If you go to the idahobusinesspodcast.com/sensations or just to our website and click on their logo, I'll bring you to their sales, their offer page, and you will get a free cocoon wellness treatment in their bed or a red light therapy session for free. You get to choose between the two if you mention the podcast as you sign up. So there you go, guys. Free stuff. It's going to help you recharge your body. There's so many benefits to these services you can see on our website. So go to Sensations, book your stuff today, and they will treat you right. The Idaho Business Podcast is sponsored by Dell's Outdoor Advertising. These guys are an institution when it comes to billboard advertising, traditionally or digital billboard advertising. They are represented from Pocatello all the way to Blackfoot, and they will tell you this is a great way, and I will tell you this is a great way to have top of mind awareness for your clients, your potential clients. There are some great things that still can be accomplished from billboards, even though we're in the Facebook and social media marketing realms of the world right now. So if you contact Rob and you set up a 3-month deal to be on the billboard, he'll give you your installation for free, or your first month for free, excuse me. And again, you can go to idahobusinesspodcast.com, click on their logo, their name, and find their information to get that deal rolling for yourself. And they are fantastic at it. So go see them today. The Idaho Business Podcast is sponsored by New Clean Commercial Cleaning. This is my company, guys. I'm telling you, I'm not just because I'm the owner, the creator of it, but we are a great company for servicing your janitorial needs, your carpet cleaning needs, your stripping wax needs, all your floor maintenance needs. We are there for you. Everything is backed up by the "we're not perfect" guarantee. And if it's pretty much if you call and we don't get a hold of you, you don't get a hold of us, we will call you back within an hour and fix the problem within 24 hours, or the cleaning's on us. So that is our promise to you. And if you call or go into the Idaho Business Podcast website, click on the New Clean logo and book a janitorial solution huddle with us, and mention that you heard about us on the podcast, you'll get 2 free the 2 free restroom floor cleanings for your office for free. Tile and grout in your restrooms will be sparkling clean. And that's the offer. Tell you, take us up on it. You won't regret it. There's no strings attached. So go see them today.
For entrepreneurs, I think it's a common, almost genetically imprinted state of mind of how the thought process goes, that you want to suppress profitability as much as possible, and certainly that is a consideration within reason. However, when it comes to actually monetizing all of your hard work, and you have shown no profit, just like you said, it's very difficult to get a banker to lend money. So what's going to happen when it comes time to sell your business is someone is either going to buy your business, they're going to have enough financial resources to write you a check out of their own bank account, out of their savings, or wherever they're getting their money from, and writing you a check for that, the value of your business, what they're going to buy it for. Or more likely, they're going to put a down payment down and take your financial statements to a bank. And that bank is going to lend them money to buy your business. And, if you think about it, it's just like buying a home.
Mm-hmm.
You buy a home, the bank is looking at your ability to repay that loan. And they look at things that they can rely upon. Your credit rating is one metric that they look at. They look at your employment history, how long you've been employed. They look at the amount of money you're making, and they calculate, a percentage of your total income that will be able to pay the debt. And then they make a credit decision whether they're going to loan you money to buy the home. So you buy, let's say, a $500,000 home. You put down $100,000 on that home, and the bank will lend you the other $400,000 or 80%. Well, in actual fact, it's a similar type of process that you go through when you are buying a business or selling a business. The bank is going to look at some of the same type of things. What they look at, though, is not the earnings history of the individual, but they look at the earnings history of the business. And they want to see 2 or 3 years of earnings history, and they're going to ask for tax returns. And they're not going to ask generally, a sophisticated banker is not going to ask the business owner to provide tax returns. They're going to fill out a form to the IRS, and they're going to request those tax returns directly from the IRS, because it is, sadly, there are people that kind of, play with, the ability to alter the tax returns that they would give somebody. And so they're going to request those tax returns from the bank and from the IRS that the bank is going to look at, and they're going to make a credit decision based on, what they see. And if they make a determination that the business has the earnings history to be able to support a loan and some other criteria that they would have, they will lend money based on the credit worthiness or the history, the earnings history of that business. And that is why it is important. Now, they will also do an adjustment of the things within the business that a owner of the business would normally, we would say, create an expense for the business that is not an expense for the entrepreneur, not really the business. They will adjust those things out and take a look at what the core income and cash flow of that business is, and doing the valuation. So in many cases, you may achieve short-term financial gain by suppressing the profitability of your business at the disadvantage of long-term profitability that you can take out of your business. And you have to consider that a business is valued as a multiple of earnings. It may be 2 times, 3 times, depending on the size of your business and the type of your business, 5 or 6 times earnings. And so you save $1 on taxes, you may be giving up $2, $3, $4, $5 in potential gain on the sale of that business, because by depressing your profits by $1 and not paying taxes on that dollar, you may be giving up $3 or $4 in sales value of your business at some point in time.
Wow. Well, that should be an eye opener for all of us of how we're running our businesses, for sure, to make sure that, hey, I know no one wants to give their money to Uncle Sam. No one wants to give any undue money that's going to him, but be smart with it. But you got to pay the tax, man. So you can, like Marvin said, so we can get those multiples. Anyways.
Well, a business is just like any other asset. It's going to be valued. You have a car, you have a blue book. If you're selling a car, you're going to see what that car is worth. And there are going to be things that detract from the value of that car, such as mileage and the general condition of the car, the age of the car. A business, has a valuation metric that businesses are valued on. And one of those is profitability, but there are other things that, are a part of the valuation process of a business. And you just have to take a look. And that's why I mentioned earlier that those that get into this frame of mind of thinking of their business not as an income generator for themselves to earn and extract income out of, but that they're trying to build an asset. They're trying to build long-term value. And I'll go back to the example of a house. Those people that improve on their house, keep it maintained, uh, upgrade it, remodel it from time to time. That home is going to be worth more in the market than a home that has deferred maintenance and has not been kept and has, a bad, roof that leaks and things of that nature. It's the basic core components of what creates value of an asset, regardless of what that asset is.
I agree. I agree. I couldn't have said it any better. That's some great advice there. So I appreciate it, Marvin. Well, in closing, let's move into the lightning round real quick. And the lightning round is sponsored by Fresh Prep Meals. These guys do a fantastic job of preparing healthy options for your busy lifestyle. We know you're not, sometimes we're just too busy to make the meals that are going to keep us healthy in the long run. Just like we want to keep our businesses healthy in the long run, we got to keep our bodies and minds healthy. So these guys will prep the meals for you. They're not going to be those just normal chicken and salad or chicken and rice. They're going to be creative, good meals, enchiladas, that kind of stuff. They're fun to eat and good to eat. And they'll conveniently ship them to you or have them at conveniently located locations anywhere from Burley all the way to Idaho Falls. You go on their website, theidahobusinesspodcast.com, click on their logo. And as you sign up, you will get your first meal for free and an additional meal for free to give to whoever you want. So that is the offer for them. Marvin, as we come to a conclusion here, what is one of your favorite books or tools or softwares that you've used in the past that's just really been an eye opener for you or game changer?
Well, a book that I just am finishing reading is one called Premonition. It's by Michael Lewis. It's a little bit about the whole pandemic here. And it's a non-business book, and I generally spend a lot of my time reading business books, but this one was just an enjoyable read. Michael Lewis is the guy that wrote Moneyball and Wall Street Boys, and
Love that show.
he's just a phenomenal writer and does a lot of research, and he takes a kind of a deep dive into the pandemic and how it kind of unfolded, and basically some of the politics that have been involved and how decisions have been made with the pandemic. And it just was an enjoyable read of some the very dedicated people we have that you never hear about in this country that really enabled the pandemic and vaccines and everything to be developed as quickly and efficiently as they were, because these people had been on the job, not necessarily supported by government agencies, but were the researchers and policymakers behind the scenes that we don't hear a lot about. It was just an enjoyable read, and I would recommend that.
I like it. Okay. Put that on my Audible list. That'd be a good one. All right. Well, what is maybe one of the biggest myths business owners need to know the truth about?
Well, I think one of the biggest myths that out there is from my perspective, because entrepreneurs have this mindset that they can get things done. And that's why they own their own businesses. That's why they enjoy the rush of getting up in the morning and tackling problems and solving problems on the fly. That's just kind of the profile of an entrepreneur or business owner. Then that's why they don't like to work for other people and they run their own show. But I think one of the biggest myths is they take that mentality into the thought process of when the time comes to sell, I'll just get the job done. I figured everything else out. I've been successful in running and building my business. When it comes time to sell, I'll just figure it out then. As I said, unfortunately, the data and statistics don't really hold that up. And that's a myth that I think that most business owners, entrepreneurs need to revisit, because those in You would never take off on a vacation without knowing where you were headed, how long you were going to be gone, where you're going to be staying, what you're going to be seeing, and when you're going to get back. And yet business owners put off to the last minute. They may spend hours researching a new product, or hours, days, months, weeks researching a new product that they would want to, consider working with or launching, but they don't spend a day or two or very little time thinking about how they're going to monetize all of that hard work, the decades sometimes a lifetime of hard work. They just don't think about how they're going to step away from their business at some point in time. And I think that's and the myth that they're going to figure it out when the time comes. They're going to squander a lot of money, and a lot of headaches and grief are going to, be experienced that really doesn't have to be experienced with just a little bit of forethought.
Sure. Yeah, everyone wants the return of all their blood, sweat, and tears over the year. They want to see that nice return. So that's a great myth. That's one of the best ones on the show so far. So thank you, Marvin. That's a good one to kind of end with. So, and one last question. Was there any question I should have asked that I did not?
No, I think you've done a great job. I think that your audience are obviously business owners out there, or people that are thinking about getting in business or are in business and maybe thinking about stepping away from their business at some point in time. And I think we've covered a lot of ground here today.
No.
One thing I might mention, though, is this question that I get a lot of, why should I be thinking about, an exit or selling my business years down the road, and I'm too busy building it. I prepared a little report that I think may be of interest to some people in your audience. And if they just go to my website of businessexitstories.com/report 2, number 2, they can download this free report that kind of gives some things for someone in business today that's not necessarily ready to start thinking about selling their business, but at some point in time, they know that they probably will. It'll just give you some insight and some things that you can start thinking about now. So I've a lot of people, I actually prepared that report. I got so many requests from the people that listen to the podcast that say, okay, kind of what's next? What do I do now? Type of thing. So
I love it. Well, that's perfect. Well, from all of our visitors, our guests, I'm sure they'll appreciate it, and I'm going to go download it myself. So
yeah, and if you like short stories and you like interesting twists and turns, the podcast is 4 stories on every podcast about stories and exits and sales that went well, and some not so well, and some real ugly stories told by the people that make the deals happen. It's just kind of a good listen about sometimes what you don't want to do and how you can belly flop on an exit of a business. And those stories have great takeaways.
I love it. Well, you heard it from him, guys. Go and subscribe to the Business Exit Stories podcast and get more business advice and sage wisdom from Marvin. So thanks, Marvin, for coming on the show with us today. Really appreciate it, your time.
That's been a lot of fun. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. And to everyone listening, like always, stay away from those negative Nancy's. Misery always likes company. And just go out and dominate your week, dominate your day, and have that attitude of gratitude. And until next time, we'll see you all later.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.